Hi everybody, I'm Phil Thompson and welcome to this mini lesson video on the 2013-14 North Carolina High School All-State Honors Band required etude for flute. I'll start off with a brief description of how I played the piece, maybe give you some ideas for your performance itself, followed by a performance of the piece. If you haven't seen it already, I suggest you start with my intro video to All-State Band Auditions, which is the top of my drop-down page instructional videos at the website www.woodwindperformance.com. Anyway, I hope you'll find this of value and best of luck with this year's audition. This allegretto is a very popular piece in the flutist repertoire. All developing flutists play it, and I assure you your judges have played it many times. I think they're going to be looking for pure lyricism as you play this piece. In other words, making this sound like a quick moving song for flute, if you would. The tempo is about 92 to 96 is where I played it. Don't go any faster. It's a very typical piece from the late 19th century for flute playing. I think to bring out the lyricism, first of all, phrasing and breathing. I've gone through here and marked all my breaths. If they're circled, they're of utmost importance. A couple of them have 2 circles. You can imagine what that means. There are a few in here in parentheses. Take them if you need them. You may need more as you get towards the end of the piece. Try to avoid, if you can, in this particular piece, breathing. Anywhere where I've put these broken slur markings, that's my mark I put in my music to tell me not to breathe if at all possible. 2 reasons. I think that's all one phrase. And secondly, if you breathe after the E, it's going to make that low C a little bit harder to come out. So try to take 1, maybe 2 breaths before you start and play through these markings like that. You will impress the judges with that kind of phrasing. Dynamic contrast in this piece. I think this piece is full of echoes. If you look at it closely, they're trying to get you to come from a forte, even starting low, and then the same little line is played again, but make it subito or very suddenly piano as an echo. I've marked those throughout. I think it's a very nice effect, a contrasting effect to make the piece once again lyrical. Vibrato in this piece. I think that's pretty obvious on the notes of length. I try to also get some vibrato on these moving 8th notes through here just to give the piece more of a song-like singing quality. Do what you can. Make it sound even and musical with your vibrato. Also, these lines are very easy to rush. Be careful not to let it take off and get ahead of yourself. It's only going to make the higher notes on the second page harder to play. If you'll notice, I've gone through here and there are several, particularly on the beginnings, almost of each line or run of 16th notes, I've put legato markings. For one thing, that's typical of late 19th century lyrical playing, and secondly, it helps remind me not to rush. So unrushed lines with legato markings. Also legato marking on the low C's will help them come out a little bit as well. The piece is slurred throughout. What little tonguing there is comes at the end. 92 to 96, I suggest that you probably single tongue this, not double tongue it at the end. Technically, there's not any really tricky fingerings to this piece. In the trills, think of the 2 little grace notes as grace notes to the 8th note at the end, and I think that helps make that a little bit smoother too. So try to connect the 2 grace notes to the 8th note on the end of 2 in each one of the measures. Observe the tempo changes. There are several retards in here. Odd tempos, come back to the tempo that you started all the way through the piece. Anyway, those are some ideas to make the piece very lyrical. I think that's what the judges are looking for, so try these ideas if you will, and best of luck on your audition.